Intro plus outline. On the intro, the very first slide, you probably want the title of your presentation and your name. Fair? The second slide should probably be an outline. And I'm sure you've seen someone do this, like, hey guys, first I'm gonna talk about this, then I'm gonna talk about this, then I'm gonna talk about this, and then there's questions. This outline is usually more useful for longer presentations, just so people can know exactly where they are. And then in the middle of the presentation, you can remind people of where you stand in the presentation, so they can sort of prepare accordingly in their head. Oh, okay, we're halfway through it. We're almost at the end. That gives them a point to hold themselves to. Is like, oh, okay, that's where we are, that's where we're going, that's where we... You see? With that out of the way, let's think about the content. Before you start drafting your slides, you should probably make an outline. It's not the same thing as the slide that you're going to present to people, which is basic outlines, like overall thing. No, this is an outline for you. You're going to ask yourself, alright, in the first couple of slides, am I presenting the problem? Okay, let's say that John bought an apple and he thought that apple was too expensive. Alright, that's the problem. Then, let's say you're gonna introduce the context of the class. So let's say you were at an economics class and you go, alright, so this is how economics would look at this problem. And then you keep telling the story. You see how we're always referring back to a story? The first thing I told you was like, John, such and such and such. It's a story. I don't go straight into, yo, graphs. No, because if you do that, people are gonna be like, so that's what the outline is for. It's for you to understand yourself how your presentation is gonna look like. So now that you have this page or two or whatever in front of you, you can start seeing how the whole presentation fits within itself. And that gives you a lot of more power over the content, so you can start playing with it. Oh, side note, if you are, I don't hope you are, but if you are making this presentation the night before, don't skip the outline still. Perhaps you're not going to make it as detailed, but still make an outline. The outline is still going to help you. Please, don't make a presentation the night before. That's going to stress the heck out of you. Seriously. If you break your presentation down into a few days, then you're going to be able to practice. And don't forget, practice is key. So now you have your intro, your outline, your content. Then what? Don't ever end your presentation on a black screen. Add a final note, be it an inspirational quote that you think makes sense, be it a questions slide, like, look, hey, questions. When you end a presentation on a black screen, that shows you didn't think about it. That's the truth. Now, when you add a questions slide at the end, people are like, oh, okay, the presenter was thinking of us when he or she prepared this presentation. And it also shows them that you're ready to help. Also, make sure to add a references page. Don't make it a mess. Make it pretty, make it cute, right? Like, make it organized. But add a references page. Because it could happen that someone will ask you in bigger presentations, in bigger speeches or whatever, hey, that number that you said or that information that you gave, where is that from? If you don't have that, that's a problem. Now, I'm going to show you right now how to hide a slide. Okay, so let's get to it real quick. This is how you hide a slide. So let's say you're presenting over here and you're going through your presentation, you have the introduction, whatever, and then there is a slide you want to hide. This is what you will want to do. You go ask, so just to get out and go to your actual presentation. The first way you can do it is go over here, right click, and then hide slide. Okay? Now, the other way you can do this is by coming over here on the tab slideshow, click on it, hide slide, making sure that the slide you want hidden is actually selected. So now, for example, let's restart the presentation. Next, introduction, and now we don't see that hidden slide anymore. There you go. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go through the whole presentation, questions page or inspirational quote, whatever. The next one is gonna be the sources, but you're gonna hide it because when you're presenting it, you don't want that necessarily to show. If someone asks you, then you can pull them aside or you can actually show the presentation to the people and be like, okay, here are my sources. but that doesn't necessarily have to be there. And you can say at the end, hey, if anyone has any questions about my sources, I have it here, so just let me know. So it's one of those things. You may not ever use it, but it's good to have it there in case you need it. Luis, why do you use PowerPoint? Alright, let's get into that. I know a lot of you like Prezi or Google Slides or all of those other interesting... I've tried them, and they are good. Don't get me wrong, they are good. However, PowerPoint is the one that has given me the less trouble. And even when I start my presentations on Google Slides because I'm working with other people, or Prezi for whatever reason, I still bring them back to PowerPoint. Plus, sometimes you're not gonna have internet wherever you're presenting. If you need the internet for that, well, that's a problem. And then most computers at most places, in case you don't have yours with you, they have PowerPoint. So in 3 easy sentences, why do I use PowerPoint? 1, you don't need internet. 2, the transitions and tricks that I'm gonna show you are all made there. 3, it's usually the easiest file to send to people. Sometimes they don't have access to whatever other thing you're doing, but they have access to that. And that probably includes your professors, so don't forget that.